and welcome to a new series I'm doing. At least that's what I plan to do at this moment. I'm not sure if I'm going to go through with it, but this is going to be a tutorial on logic. It's going to be anything. Basically, we have anything in this sector I will explain, except for this. This is hell. But ignoring this and, possibly this, everything in this thing I can tell you how to do. And if you want to use the randomizer but don't know how to use it, I may cover that. If you want to do advanced logic like selectors and timers, that's what I'm here for. So, first agenda on the list is the calculator. Well, I was gonna do a dream, explaining how all this works. However, you can't really view gadgets in play mode and whatnot, and I have to rely on sculpts made by other people because I suck at this game. I don't know how to sculpt, and I was gonna, make this thing basically, a whole dream, but honestly, I could do better if it was just a regular tutorial. Also, I added on these to some of the ports, but they just look like very cruelly drawn stuff. So yeah, let's get into calculators. These are my favorite gadgets in the game, not by a long shot. Every one of these gadgets pales in comparison to the calculator. It helps me do so many things. First, let's see what it does. So, let's explain what a calculator is. A calculator takes one value times or pluses or whatever math in a math set by another value to give you your output. Let's say we got a puppet, right? Alright, so let's say we want to track this puppet's speed. First, we get movement sensor, and if we don't know what the speed is, we can just do this. Note, you're going to want to put on local space in the z-axis, because the reason why is that we're only wanting to tracking it moving forward. If it strafes, that'll count for the x-axis, and if we jump, that'll count for the y-axis. We don't want overall, we want z. And wait, we need a number displayer. And one z. Yeah, don't listen to me. We want a number displayer. This is sort of debugging. I don't know. So this number is going to be used for how fast we're going. Well, let's check that. So it's taking the meters per second that we're going and converts it to that value. But what if we wanted something to happen if we were to match or exceed that value? As you can see here, if we change this to 7 meters per second, will show up on the text displayer or number displayer. So you might be thinking, why is this relevant to the calculator? Well, let's say we want something to happen. So we would take this, and let's open up the calculator. So right here, this is the number we're gonna, let's see, add, subtract, multiply, or divide by, right? So let's say we want to, say we want this guy to do an anime run whenever he gets his max speed. Well, what's his max speed? It's 7 meters per second. So we would do equals to 7. However, we're not always going to be in this. We're not always going to be at 7 exactly. So it's always better to do greater than or equal, and then subtract that by 5 for the final output. And now, so right now, it's checking the speed of your character. And it's also checking whether or not, you're going faster than 6.95 meters per second. And if you do, it will do the result thing. So let's just get his arms out in the most laziest possible. Excellent, let's just do that. This is so crude, I hate these puppets. But, I also love them at the same time. And there we go. So now what will happen we run normally until we reach 7 meters per second. Now notice how, as I let go of the stick a little bit, I run normally. But then once I reach 7 meters per second, I start doing an anime run, or a very not so anime run. It didn't need to be an anime run, but eh. So what happened here was I told the calculator to do this when I exceeded a certain speed, and it did. And you might be thinking, okay, then what is this for? You know, like, why would I need to do this? Simple. Differing walking animations. Bricoshang actually use calculators to make the run animations. So Sonic has different phases of runs. The first phase is walking, second phase jogging, third phase maybe jogging again, then the fourth phase is run. And what Bricoshang does here is he uses calculators to determine that. So if Sonic is going greater than 3 meters per second, he'll jog, I mean. I don't know why I said. And that's what he did. Because you can't detect, like, sure, you can have movement strength, sure. But, like, you can only have 1 or 2 different animations using the puppet interface alone, because you have a thing for walking and running, and only those 2. So if you have calculators, you can use those to make different animations for Sonic running and walking. My dog's back against something, I don't know what it is. So you can have more animations depending on everything else, I guess. That makes sense, right? Hopefully it does, I don't know. So, yeah, that's what the first thing is for calculators. What is that puppet doing that? The second useful thing is for reading values. There's values for, you know, jumping, there's values for running. You know, but I was never able to take these numbers and whatnot. Like, this is from ground. Like, you don't know, like, how to read that value because it's either an on or off state. And from here, we're using calculators, we can determine the distance from the ground. So let me just delete that. So if we jump, it will basically tell us the distance from ground from the number displayer. That's cool and all, but how do we get this value? And say if we were at like 5 meters from the ground, you know, like, how do we read that? We may want an effect for the puppets to take. So if you're like 2 meters from the ground, maybe he starts losing gravity, I don't know. That's why we use calculators. Let's say we will collapse on ourselves like that. I don't know, it's a really dumb idea. But we can do that if we just jump. And we broke our back as soon as we did that. And this isn't just for, you know, the puppet interface either. No. It's even for the gadgets. So, you want to check how far away something is from the trigger zone, right? You're going to want to put it in detected percents because, you know, say we have a cube or something. Oh, and then we want this to detect for foes. Now, as the cube gets closer in the range, the number decreases. And we can use that number, put in the calculator, set our desired effect, and then use that. Now, I could go on and on about the greater than or equal to, but we're just getting started. Okay, so let's say we wanted the counter to activate at the 1 charge. So you may see that there's no concrete 100% values for this thing at all. So that, again, that's what calculators are used for. So we're gonna like want to put this in A, and if it's greater than 0.20 or equal to, then we're able to do a move I like to call just jump high, I guess. Just jump highly. I don't freaking know. But why would we have 5 charges? Well, again, we're going to put the count progress and put it in here for forward speed. And as we charge it up, we're gonna like have more values. However, you may notice that these values are particularly weak. Like, if you have 5 charges, we don't want 5.5 meters per second. Now, we're going to use calculators for this, as if we haven't done that already. So we're going to plug this into there, and plug this into there. And what we're going to do is we're going to amplify the value. So, let's times it by this much. And so, when we get to 5, we get a bigger value. Let's say that is enough for you. Let's go up to 15. There we go. And now we have a maximum of 15 meters per second. Now let's see if this actually works. I never had logic work the first try, but let's see if this proves me wrong. Okay, so first, alright, so I just set the calculator. I just set the mover to go up in that direction. So let's see, we reached that high when we jump normally, but how about this? Or this? There we go. We reached a high limit, this kind of thing. I don't know. We always put it in a timeline so that we can control how, you know, the duration is. So we can go up even higher. Gotta set that to play once because we're not madmen. What the frick? Okay, don't set that to 100% then. Just set that to 0%. Why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, actually, I just realized something. The fault in this logic. Oh, wait, let me just set this to reset once the timeline finishes. There we go. Okay, so yeah, I just had that reset after the timeline finishes, and now we have a proper that thing. You can even use it to divide, and basically, if you use this to divide, what you can do, set it as the playhead, and then just, I don't know, do something that would make it do that, and then you can play at whatever you want to. If you have the divide by value, I cannot for the life of me tell you what any of these do. I really can't. But hey, hopefully you learned something new, and just don't take the calculator for granted. I use it every single time I use this every single time I code something in Dreams. I don't know what these do. I don't know vectors or trigonometrics. I only use it for the add, subtract, multiply, divide, greater than, equal to, less than, all that jazz. Everything else I don't use. And yeah, hopefully you learned something new, and hopefully this tutorial has helped you.